A friend of mine passed along to me an old out-of-print book titled The Magic of a Name. It's about the beginnings of the Rolls-Royce automobile, written by Earl Nightingale and first published in 1938. Makes interesting reading. But the point that underlies the entire story is the fact that the originator of the Rolls-Royce motor car, Henry Royce, was an indefatigable perfectionist. He didn't invent the motor car. He was just unhappy with it. He thought it was too noisy, for one thing, too heavy and inefficient. And so it happened that in Manchester, England, on April Fool's Day of 1904, there came into being a motor car unlike any other that had been seen or heard before. As Harold Nichols put it, save for a gentle fut-fut-fut-fut from its exhaust pipe, it made no noise at all. There was no clatter from the engine, no grinding from the gears and back axle, and this comparative silence in the days when the noise of a motor car had been likened with deadly accuracy to an avalanche of tea trays was something indeed to marvel at. At the wheel of this miraculous machine sat a bearded figure of some 40 years of age, whose piercing eyes were lit with a gleam of triumphant concentration. It was Henry Royce, the perfectionist. The trade name Rolls-Royce went on to become a synonym for anything excellent or outstanding. In the Spitfires of the Battle of Britain in 1940, the Rolls-Royce engines were a big factor in winning that war. In fact, there's a stained-glass memorial window at the Rolls-Royce aircraft engine plant commemorating the pilots of the RAF and reads, "Who in the Battle of Britain turned the work of our hands into the salvation of our country." But the point I want to make is that to become successful and outstanding at something, we don't have to come up with something new. We need only find ways of doing it better. And if you think about it, it's the key element in virtually all success stories. The Hilton Hotels, Holiday Inns, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald hamburgers, the list is endless, from aspirin to xylophones to Zwieback. If you want to succeed at something, just do it better. Henry Royce was so wrapped up in the business of producing a superior motor car, he'd forget to eat for days at a time and sleep on a bench in the foundry. They hired a special boy to follow him around with a glass of milk and some bread so that he wouldn't get sick from malnutrition. He once heard a mechanic make the statement, "That's good enough," and they almost had to tie him down. Nothing was good enough for him, and his name and the name of his salesman-distributor partner, C.S. Rolls, are symbols of quality. It's the same in every field, advertising to zinnia growing. Give it the kind of study and all-out dedication that Royce gave to his cars, and your name will someday stand like some of those I mentioned earlier. How can we make it better? That's what management should spend its days worrying about. And any time you want to beat the system and get out of the rat race, it'll work for your favorite calling, too. All you have to do is find out ways to do it better, and the world will give you anything you want.